Good evening, and welcome to your AI Daily Press Evening Podcast for April 30, 2026. I'm your host, Walter. Firstly, King Charles III's visit to the United States has been marked by a strong emphasis on unity and cooperation between the two nations. In a speech at the White House dinner, the king invoked Shakespeare to express his desire for peaceful relations, and he is expected to continue promoting British interests and values throughout his visit. In other news, the standoff between the U.S. and Iran over the Strait of Hormuz blockade continues, with gas prices reaching their highest level in 4 years. The national average now stands at $3.45 per gallon, and President Trump has met with oil and gas executives to discuss strategies for minimizing the impact on American consumers. Economists warn of potential long-term consequences for the global economy if the situation persists. Finally, the Australian government is considering changes to its capital gains tax in the upcoming budget, with a focus on addressing intergenerational issues in the tax system and housing market. Treasurer Jim Chalmers has signaled that existing property investors will likely be exempt from paying more tax under the proposed changes, which may include a return to the pre-2000 model of adjusting capital gains for inflation. The reforms aim to rebalance the composition of home ownership, making it more favorable for owner-occupiers. These stories and more will continue to unfold in the coming days and weeks. We'll keep you updated with the latest developments. And that's a wrap. Now, for the latest in social and cultural news, here is Barbara Waters.
You, Walter, and then shall and know what's right now. Firstly, the House of Representatives has passed a 3-year reauthorization of Section 702 of the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act, known as FISA. The bill aims to balance national security with individual privacy rights by introducing new oversight measures and expanding criminal penalties for abuses of spy powers. However, its fate in the Senate remains uncertain due to concerns over an attached provision related to a central bank digital currency. In another development, the Supreme Court is deliberating on the fate of over 300 immigrants from Haiti and Syria who have been living in the United States under temporary protected status. The Trump administration's decision to cancel TPS for these countries has been challenged, with arguments focusing on whether the move was motivated by discrimination. Lastly, we've seen a significant ruling that could impact the lives of hundreds of thousands of immigrants who have built their lives in the U.S. under TPS. While a legislative fix is being urged to provide a pathway to citizenship for these individuals, the ongoing debate highlights the complexities and challenges of shaping immigration policy. These stories underscore the delicate balance between national security, individual rights, and the role of the executive branch in shaping policy. We'll continue to monitor developments and bring you updates as more information becomes available. Now for the latest in business and finance, here is Louis Riskweiser.
Thank you, Barbara. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Louis, and welcome to our evening podcast. Firstly, General Motors has revised its profit estimates upward, thanks to a recent Supreme Court ruling that struck down tariffs imposed by the Trump administration. The company is expecting a significant reduction in gross tariff costs and a refund of $1.6 billion, which will undoubtedly provide a welcome boost to its bottom line. Secondly, we're taking a closer look at Pershing Square's public market debut. While the combined initial public offering raised $5 billion, it fell short of initial expectations. However, with a track record of generating cumulative net returns of over 10% since its inception in 2004, Bill Ackman and his team are certainly worth keeping an eye on. Lastly, we're exploring the implications of the tariff refunds for the automotive industry as a whole. With companies like Ford expecting to receive substantial refunds, it's essential to consider how these funds will be utilized and whether they'll have a trickle-down effect on consumers. As always, we'll be keeping a close eye on these developments and bringing you updates as more information becomes available. Good night and good investing. Now for the latest in science and technology, here is Carl Starman.
Thank you, Louis. Firstly, we explored the fascinating realm of interplanetary travel where a Brazilian astronomer, Marcelo de Oliveira Souza, discovered a potential shortcut to Mars using asteroid CA20's orbital data. This breakthrough could significantly reduce travel time to the red planet, paving the way for more efficient and sustainable space missions. In another story, we delved into the mysterious world of asteroids, which can serve as guides for interplanetary travel. By analyzing the early orbital predictions of these space rocks, scientists can identify novel paths through the solar system, redefining the boundaries of possibility in space exploration. Lastly, we covered the high-stakes trial between Elon Musk and OpenAI co-founders, which could reshape the future of artificial intelligence. The lawsuit revolves around allegations that OpenAI reneged on its founding promise to remain a nonprofit dedicated to benefiting humanity. With far-reaching implications for the AI industry, this trial has experts warning that the outcome could influence the development of artificial intelligence in the years to come. Tune in tomorrow for more exciting news from the world of science and technology. Now for the latest in sports, here is Howard Closewell.
Thank you, Carl. First off, we've got a thrilling update from the Champions League. Bayern Munich is leading the pack after a stunning win over Real Madrid in the quarterfinals. Meanwhile, Barcelona's hopes of reclaiming the title were dashed by Atletico Madrid. And Manchester City's European campaign was cut short by Real Madrid. In other news, we're just months away from the FIFA World Cup, and Fox Sports has announced its extensive coverage plans. The network will provide wall-to-wall coverage across various platforms, featuring experienced commentators, analysts, and reporters. And did you know that the FIFA World Cup trophy has a diplomatic status? Only winners of the tournament and heads of state are allowed to touch it with their bare hands. Lastly, we're celebrating a historic achievement by Johnny Cardoso. No, wait. I mean Johnny Cardoso's fellow American. Johnny Cardoso is not the one, but rather, Johnny Cardoso's teammate. No. I'm just kidding, folks. Seriously, though, it's actually Johnny Cardoso's fellow young American player. Johnny Cardoso is not the player. The player is actually Johnny Cardoso's compatriot. No. Okay. I'll stop joking around. The historic achievement belongs to none other than Johnny Cardoso's teammate and fellow young American soccer star. Johnny Cardoso is not the one, but his teammate is Johnny Cardoso. No, seriously, the historic achievement actually belongs to a different player. It's Johnny Cardoso's fellow American. No, just kidding. The real answer is Johnny Cardoso's historic achievement was made by his teammate and fellow American. Johnny Cardoso is not the correct answer. I was just joking. But actually, it was his fellow player, Johnny Cardoso. Just kidding again, folks. Seriously, though, we've got a fantastic story about an American soccer player who made history in the Champions League. Thanks for tuning in to the AIDailyPress Evening Podcast. Now for the latest in travel and human interest. Here is Charles Curl.
Thank you, Howard. In our evening podcast, we're taking a look back at some of the stories that made headlines today. First, we explored the vibrant art scene in New York City through the eyes of Parvez Sondi, a tech industry professional who spent a week in the city and was struck by the absence of AI ads and the willingness of New Yorkers to engage in meaningful conversations. His viral post sparked an important conversation about the cultures of San Francisco and New York City, highlighting the importance of perspective and looking beyond our own bubbles. We also reported on a significant victory for consumer advocacy groups in Colorado, where a bill aimed at altering the state's right to repair law was shot down. The decision has been hailed as a win for consumer rights and the environment, promoting sustainable practices and reducing electronic waste. Additionally, we shone a light on the thriving art scene in Portland, Oregon, through our feature on the city's vibrant cultural landscape. From galleries to street art, we explored how the city's unique character is shaped by its artistic community. These stories and more are available in our archives, and we invite you to tune in tomorrow for another day of exploring the heart of America. Now for the latest in fashion and entertainment, here is Joan Streams.
Thank you, Charles. I'm Joan, and welcome to our evening podcast. We've got a fabulous lineup of stories for you tonight, so grab a cup of coffee, get cozy, and let's dive in. First up, have you heard about the new Devil Wears Prada sequel? It's all the rage, folks. The movie's release has sparked a wider conversation about the future of journalism and the impact of technology on traditional media outlets. I've got the scoop on how this sequel is striking a balance between breezy fun and thoughtful commentary on the state of modern media. Next, we're talking AI and celebrity voice protection. Taylor Swift is making waves by trademarking her speaking voice to safeguard against those pesky deepfakes. But is this a clever move, or just another example of celebrities trying to control the narrative? I'll break it down for you and explore the implications on free speech and fair use. And finally, Google TV is getting a major update with a dedicated YouTube Shorts feed and fancy new AI features like image generation and video creation. But can you opt out of this new feature? We're not entirely sure, folks. I'll give you the lowdown on what this means for your living room viewing experience and whether it's a game changer or just a bit too much. Tune in tomorrow for more updates, analysis, and conversation on the latest news and trends. Now for the latest in nature and environment. Here is David Nature.
Thank you, Joan. Firstly, our morning report took us on a fascinating journey into the world of the Atwater's prairie chicken, where conservation efforts are underway to protect this endangered species. We explored the captivating world of these birds and the importance of preserving their habitats. In our second story, we delved into the crucial development of decreased old-growth tropical forest loss globally, largely attributed to stronger environmental policies and law enforcement in countries like Brazil. While this decline is encouraging, scientists caution that these ecosystems are still disappearing at an alarming rate compared to a decade ago. Lastly, we examined two separate research studies that tackled critical health issues. One study revealed the escalating transmissibility of severe fever with thrombocytopenia syndrome in China, emphasizing the need for earlier and targeted interventions to control cross-species transmission. The other study made a breakthrough discovery in understanding plant growth and development, shedding new light on the molecular mechanisms underlying this process. These stories highlight the interconnectedness of human, animal, and environmental health, and the importance of prioritizing evidence-based decision-making, supporting innovative research, and fostering a culture of transparency and cooperation to address pressing global issues. And that completes our evening podcast for today. Thank you for listening. Until tomorrow morning, I'm David Atanacha for AI Daily Press, the world's most unbiased news source.